Hey guys, GameFan here back with another Media Nexa video, and this time we have the Poison Throw Assassin build overview. I'm currently level 129, so we are rather far from being complete, but I feel like this is a good point where you can review the build and we can just showcase what the main idea is. So the main skill that we're going to deal damage with is going to be Scorpion Blade, which is going to scale poison spell damage, and Way of the Spider, which is the assassin's way of just gaining tons and tons of flat poison damage to your weapon, and we're just gonna we're gonna be throwing knives all over the enemies, and we're just gonna be walking really fast. So first, just let's go over the stats. It's just strength and dex enough to get the gear equipped, and then vitality is gonna be the rest. As you can see, we have decent resistances. I wouldn't say they are super good. Neither is the block chance, phase res, or defense, so this looks pretty weak on its own, but we have a very strong point, which is the Perfect Being, which gives us 65% chance to avoid damage, which is just insane. We also get an extra 5% from our challenge, so in total we have 70% chance to avoid damage. If we look at over the skills, from the ninja tree we have the Shadow Refuge, which is a buff. This gives you 39% phase res. I have currently 32 levels on it, just from like items and everything. So if you put a few more points into this, you can get 50% phase res just from this buff alone. And if you max Shadow Rush out, you're going to have 90% bonus movement speed while this buff is up. So this is pretty much mandatory to have this up all the times. From the throwing tree, we need max Way of Spider, as I said, main source of damage. So this is our main skill that we use. If we want single target, we will use Lethal Incision, which reduces the amount of knives that we have, but increases the damage and the poison skill duration by an insane amount. So currently we have 24k damage from 8 blades, but if we apply this, we have 123k damage and like pretty much double duration, which is insanely strong, and you can just activate it, deactivate it again. From Mastery, we have Meditation, Endurance, and Specialization. Specialization I feel like scales really well because simply just the amount of damage we get from these two skills. Endurance is because we're trying to scale as much life as we can, and then Meditation so we can have it a little bit easier because the mana cost is rather high, especially with the amount of times that we're going to be using it, and we don't really have like mana leech or mana pulls, for example, with the werewolf, so we kind of need these 3 points. And then from the reward tree, we put 1 point into Beacon because it's gonna give us some extra movement speed, and then Prismatic Cloak as much points as you can. It gives you max life, block speed, and then reduces the elemental damage you take. For the items, as a weapon, we have a Warstrike. I use this because of the +9 to Way of the Spider, as well as minus 40 enemy poison res. Could have a Piranha Swarm, but it's really expensive because everybody is playing with this build. That would make us have so much more damage, but this is good enough on its own. For the gloves, we are using just a tier 4 Vile Hand because of the poison skill duration, all skill, poison spell damage. It's really easy to get. It still gives us great damage, considering it's just a tier unique, and you can customize it a lot. Like, as you can see, I have 80 required levels from all the Mystic Orbs on it. I have a Crown of the Black Rose. Now it's a +3, and it gives us a bunch of poison spell damage, some minus poison resistance on the enemy, which is nice, and also we have the double Mystic Orb effect. So if you're really rich or have a bunch of unique Mystic Orbs saved up, it's a perfect place to use those. But this has a 110 level requirements from the start, so you can only use like a couple of them. For the chest piece, I'm using Scales of the Drake with plus all skills. It also has insane poison spell damage and minus 35 poison spell res. I'm using the Astragas set for the poison, and it just works perfectly with the minus poison res. The 23 Amatoxin is a flat poison damage to your weapons, so it's a great addition. The reason these items are also good because these individually have minus poison res on them, which is how we can get to 207, which is way more than enough. Like you need 199 for Samael. Besides that, you need like 130 if you just want to do casual farming. For the rings, I'm just using rare rings with a +1 all skill, poison spell damage, and minus poison res. For the shield, I'm just using a Shimmering Shrine crafted. It's this one with the poison spell damage and poison resistance. What you should be looking for is +4 to assassin skill and +1 base block chance. What you could be having here, and what I'm trying to find one, is a Zale's Temptation, because it has the same effect as a Cold Blood sword. It regens 20% max life over 5 seconds upon taking weapon. So what we're gonna do is have weapon swap 2 crafted claws with Bloodlust on them, which is gonna give us some pretty neat extra DPS. We're gonna go in, we're gonna activate our Shadow Refuge and our Beacon for over 155% movement speed, and then we're just gonna rock. What you need to also do if you feel like you don't have enough life regen is you can have a Bloodbath on left click and activate it every once a few seconds, so you will have 3% max life per kill life regen, which is just insane. Like, it's 300 life per kill and we're killing like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 enemies with like every cast, which is just nuts. So it's gonna immediately full heal you once you go into a bigger fight. That's pretty much what I wanted to show about this build, what I wanted to say. I feel like if I get my few more upgrades, like the better weapon, the better necklace, and the better shield, this build could be pretty solid. But besides that, see you later. Bye!